Hey everybody, it is Tim with the Y for another Tuesday with Tim episode, and today we're going to talk about holding space in relationship. I'm going to make this a little bit of a shorter video, I think, but I just want to give you a little bit of a tip, and this is mostly to do with understanding, or at least entering into some understanding around how masculine and feminine energy works. And this is eventually going to lead into a topic that's really, really powerful when it comes to successfully navigating a relationship. And it's a topic called leaking. I'm not going to get into leaking right now, but I will bring it forward in the future. And it's a topic worth spending some time on because it's really, really powerful. However, for today, let's do this. If you are in a relationship or if you want to be in a relationship, here's just a little bit of a tip that you can do when wanting to further understand masculine and feminine energies at a different level. At this specific level, it's about the idea of holding space. And what does that mean? And it's kind of a term that I don't really dig. It's like you have a holding space for all this stuff. But in relationship, you can actually do some really interesting things with this. But what I want to let you know is that feminine energy and masculine energy can serve each other by holding space in different ways, okay? So this is what I mean by that. For example, let's say you're in a relationship and let's say you are the masculine dominant partner. You know, that's usually the man, right? Most men are masculine dominant overall, but there can be men that are feminine dominant. It doesn't mean that they're effeminate. It means that their lead energy has to do more with caring and nurturing than providing and protecting. That's all that really means, is when you really understand the differences between the masculine and feminine, we can kind of let go of all this spiritually bankrupt versions of it. So I like putting it into the practical. So let's talk about practical. So let's just talk about this in its standard form. You have a man who's a masculine dominant man and a woman who's a feminine dominant woman. How you are going to hold space for each other can be very, very different, okay? And if you really, really understand what I'm getting at, it can be really powerful when done the right way. So let me just cut to the chase and see if you can kind of play around with this in your own world. So if the woman in this case, if the feminine dominant partner wants to hold space for the masculine dominant man, it's very different than if the masculine dominant partner wants to hold space for the feminine dominant partner. So in the case of the feminine or the masculine dominant man wanting to hold space for the feminine dominant partner, what's really important is for him to basically protect the space that the feminine dominant partner is in so she can go through her emptying phase. She needs to empty. So for the feminine actually recharges, if you will, by emptying. It's more like a capacitor, how a capacitor works. It needs to discharge energy so there can be room inside for energy to flow. And so the masculine dominant partner would do really well to consider to kind of protect the environment that she is in this case, in this example, and allow her business in order to do that, right? And who knows what she might be doing in that thing. She might be talking, she might be singing, she might be cleaning, she might be like whatever, but it's like, you know, basically warding off others in order to just give her the room to discharge, okay? That can be really powerful. That really helps with the masculine dominant partner's leaking mechanisms too. Like I said, we're going to get into that at a different time. Now, if I switch this around, the feminine dominant partner, how the feminine dominant partner can help the masculine dominant partner when it comes for holding space is actually more about not leaking into his space. Okay, so in this case, the masculine dominant partner is doing it for the feminine dominant partner. It's about creating basically a protective vessel, like somewhere where she can just do what she needs to do. So in the other case, it's really powerful because the feminine will want to come in and care and nurture, and that's not what the masculine dominant man in this case needs. He needs to go and like recharge himself. He goes to go to the cave. He needs that that part around. He would be available if there was an emergency kind of thing. But the whole idea for the feminine dominant partner is more about not leaking in. Okay, so the masculine is preventing something from disrupting the feminine, right? In this case, and this one, the feminine's actually kind of protecting herself and any of those other caring, nurturing elements to leak in, unless it's like super important kind of thing. I hope that's clear, and it's something you really can, play around with and see if you can develop an understanding about. Ultimately, when it comes to this leaking thing, it's about the direction of flow. And I look forward to sharing